Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Ape Huncho, back at you again with another video. So I've got some updates for you guys surrounding some stories that we've been covering over the past couple of weeks, and I've got multiple reports of shootings coming out of the West Midlands, but first an update on the Black Lives Matter protests that are happening around the UK. So if you guys watched my video yesterday, then you'll know that a man by the name of George Floyd was murdered by police in Minneapolis in the USA. Again, we've already discussed this, so I won't go into detail. And in solidarity with America, it seems like the UK joined in protest when yesterday people took to the streets of Peckham to peacefully protest, and they also protested against police brutality in general, giving the message that the UK isn't totally innocent in these affairs, which again they're not. Now again, upon reading the comments on the video that I did yesterday, it does seem like some people are still wondering why these protests are taking place, but honestly, you guys just have to look at the amount of police brutality cases over here in the UK. Again, I did mention one yesterday, but it only takes one Google search to find case upon case where police are going above and beyond what's asked of them to enforce the law, and that's not even counting the ones that don't even get reported on. So from a somewhat decently sized protest that happened in Peckham yesterday, now seems to have grown massively after now people have hit central London, going to Downing Street and various other places to vent their frustration. And I just want to say, so far everything is peaceful, and I just hope it stays that way. It's now also reached Manchester, where again they've hit the streets for the same reason, and I'm only guessing it's going to get bigger over the next week or so, reaching other cities in the UK. And again, as the protests develop, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. Which moves us on to our first update, and that's an update in the Chad Gordon murder case. So for you guys who don't know, we've been monitoring and updating on the Chad Gordon murder, in where a 27-year-old autistic man was shot dead on his front doorstep in Haringey after police believe it was a case of mistaken identity, and the last update was that a man had been taken into custody. Well, it now seems as if a 23-year-old man, that being Clive Spencer, who's from North London, has now gone on to be charged with his murder, and he's due to appear in court at a further date. I do believe it's Monday. Again, police did say that there was 2 men involved in the shooting, so as always, when further updates come out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Moving on to our next update, and that's involving the Belly Mujinga case. So again, we've been watching this story develop, and we did cover this topic, but to summarise, a train ticket collector by the name of Belly had been working a normal day, and even though she normally works in the office, she had been told to work outside, although she did have health conditions in which she had told her work, but management had still made her work outside. Upon going out, a man who claimed to have the coronavirus went on to spit on her, and in the following weeks she was diagnosed with COVID-19 and sadly went on to lose her life. So after police arrested a 57-year-old man, they've decided that the case is to be dropped, and he was given no further action, and of course this now closes the case. The British Transport Police, after extensive inquiries, decided that the attack wasn't the cause of her death because the man had in fact tested negative for coronavirus in the time after the incident. They had also said that they had secured CCTV footage and spoken to key witnesses to establish the full circumstances of what happened on the day. They went on to say, following a review of all the information, senior detectives have concluded that there is no evidence of any criminal offences having taken place. As a result, the matter will not be referred to the Crown Prosecution Service. Detective Chief Inspector Sam Blackburn said, "I know the loss of Belly has moved so many people, and I can assure you we've done everything we can to provide answers for her family. As a result of our inquiries, we can now be confident that this incident did not lead to Belly's tragic death. Our thoughts remain with their family, and we will continue to support them as they come to terms with the loss of their much-loved mother and wife." Of course, after the news had circulated online about the outcome of Belly's situation, it seems like the hashtag Justice for Belly Mujinga was trending on Twitter, and the British Transport Police had then went on to say this in regards to the outcry. "We understand that the tragic death of Belly Mujinga has shocked so many people, and that the outcome of our investigation has raised questions. We want to be clear on why we've decided not to take any further action. Based on key witness statements and having reviewed the CCTV footage, there is no evidence of anyone spitting in this incident. Senior detectives are confident that this incident did not lead to Belly Mujinga contracting COVID-19. This is because the man in the CCTV footage, who detectives interviewed as part of the investigation, had a negative antibody test result for COVID-19 in the time after the incident, therefore showing that he never had the illness. The The man's test did not relate to the British Transport Police investigation. He was tested as a part of his occupation, and the test results were shared with us during the investigation. Having reviewed all the evidence, senior detectives are satisfied that the incident didn't lead to Belly Mujinga's death. We have kept Belly's family fully informed throughout the investigation, and they will continue to be supported by specialist officers. Our thoughts remain with our family, and we will continue to support them as they come to terms with their loss of their much-loved mother and wife. Again, you can file a complaint to the British Transport Police, which I will leave linked down in the description, and also feel free to contact your local MP regarding the situation to express your concern if this is something that you're affected by. So moving on to our next stories, and that's a string of violent shootings taking place in the West Midlands. First, on the 26th of May 2020, police were called to Mary Street in Balsall Heath in Birmingham shortly after 8 PM when the occupants of a Citroen C3 were shot at following a collision with a Volkswagen transporter at the junction of Balsall Heath Road. They've now gone on to release CCTV footage of the incident which shows the moment they had collided, and then of course the shots were fired. It was said that 3 men from the Citroen ran in the direction of Edward Road, chased by a man brandishing what the police believed to be a handgun, and a 4th man ran towards Balsall Heath Road, chased by a man with a machete. Police are urgently appealing to identify the occupants of both vehicles, and they're also trying to locate the van involved, which displayed false plates. Detective Inspector Richard Moss from Force CID said, "We have released CCTV as we are urgently appealing for anyone who witnessed the incident or saw anything suspicious around this time to come forward. We believe that this was a targeted attack and will not tolerate violence of this nature on our streets. The Citroen has been recovered for forensic examination, and we are particularly keen to trace the movements and the occupants of the Volkswagen transporter that we believe was involved." The following day, on May the 27th, 2020, at around 7 AM, police were then called after shots were fired from the window of a property on Rookery Road in Handsworth, the same road that the chicken shop shooting had occurred some weeks ago that I reported on my channel. The 33-year-old man currently remains in hospital in stable condition with a fractured leg, and police are appealing for any witnesses to come forward. A spokesperson for the West Midlands Police said, "We are appealing for information after a man sustained a gunshot injury to his leg as he walked down Rookery Road in Handsworth on Wednesday 27th of May 2020. He was taken to hospital after he was shot at from the window of a property, and he still remains in hospital in a stable condition." Later on that day, on the 27th of May 2020, another shooting had occurred, this time on King Edward Road in the Ladywood area of Birmingham at around 5 PM, where it was said that the occupants of a car had opened fire on another vehicle. During the shooting, it was said that the only person injured was a cyclist who wasn't involved, and he had actually been hit by the car. As it stands, there's an ongoing investigation surrounding this shooting. Then, on the 28th of May 2020, a man in his 20s was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after he was shot on grassland in Penderford, Wolverhampton. The incident happened on Wayside next to the Shropshire Union Canal at around 6:40 PM. A spokesperson for the West Midlands Police said, "We are investigating after a man was shot in the leg on Wayside, Penderford, Wolverhampton at 6:40 PM on the 28th of May 2020. A man in his 20s was taken to hospital to be treated for his injuries, which are not believed to be life-threatening or changing. Investigations are underway to establish the circumstances." And in the most recent shooting in the West Midlands, it seems like a man has been left fighting for his life after he was gunned down in his own home in a late-night attack. The victim, aged 28, was critically injured when he was gunned down inside a house in Downsfield Road in Birmingham. Police believe the gunman forced his way into the house before firing at the victim at around 10:30 PM on the 29th of May 2020. A black BMW at the scene was said to have been riddled with bullet holes, and police are currently hunting the shooter. The victim was rushed to hospital where he remains in a critical but stable condition, and that was the latest update yesterday on the 30th of May 2020. A West Midlands police spokesperson came out to say this: "We're investigating after a man was shot at a house in Sheldon on the 29th of May 2020. It's believed that the gunman forced his way into the property on Downsfield Road before firing at the victim, aged 28, at around 10:30 p.m. The gunman fled the scene. The victim was taken to hospital where his condition was described as critical but stable. The investigation is at an early stage, but detectives have recovered CCTV from the area and are following up a number of lines of inquiry." One neighbour said, "As I was just going to bed, I heard bang, bang, bang. There must have been about 7 or 8 shots. I didn't realise what it was at first. I thought it was fireworks. Then the police arrived and the paramedics. There were 3 people outside the house crying, and I heard one of them say, 'He's been shot.'" Now, these shootings in the West Midlands, of course, they're all at early stages because they literally happened over this last week. So of course, as they develop, and if there is any updates surrounding those situations, as always, I'll let you guys know. Now, it's unsure whether any of these incidents are actually connected, but again, as the police investigation goes on, that will become more clear. But as it stands right now, I can't confirm if they are or not. Which then moves us on to our last story, and that's involving a multiple stabbing in Hyde Park. Now, as you guys know, lockdown measures have been somewhat relaxed now, and for many people, that meant spending the day down Hyde Park. So as it stands right now, I'm unsure to the exact motive of this multiple stabbing, whether it was a random fight or maybe rivals who haven't seen each other and now seeing each other, because if you guys remember, we did talk about this the other day, where police leaders now think after lockdown is over, there's going to be a massive surge of gang-related violence, so it could well be gang members, but I'm not going to jump the gun because there's not enough information currently out there. But the Met did release this statement saying, "We were at Hyde Park following some disorder on the 30th of May 2020. 4 men have been arrested after 3 men received stab injuries, but they are all in stable condition. We remained on the scene while inquiries continued." So yes, it does seem like police have gone on to arrest people, but as it stands right now, it's unclear whether they've gone on to be charged, and we'll more than likely find out on Monday, so I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on this situation. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Give the video a little like, and if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your boy Huncho, and I'm out.